Hey everybody, I am SaffronMan100, and I am about to do my second MMO, known as Wildstar. That's a bit better light. Now, Wildstar is an MMO, massive multiplayer online, and basically it's set on this planet called Nexus. Now there's two different kinds of factions, the Exiles and the Dominion. The Exile forces are composed of refugees, rebels, and mercenaries from across the galaxy. They've come to Nexus to carve out a new home, and they aren't about to let the Dominion stop them without a fight. The Dominion is a powerful interstellar empire that has ruled the galaxy for 2,000 years, according to the game's lore. As an heir to the Elden legacy, the Dominion considers Nexus its rightful domain, and has claimed the legendary planet for its own. Now there are different kinds of classes. Some races have access to, only the human has access to all classes, while some can access 3, 5, or 3. Now there are different kinds of classes: Engineer, Esper, Medic, Spellslinger, Stalker, and Warrior. The classes are like this. Warriors, they're like, I'm gonna compare them to Titans from Destiny. They like to hit hard, they wear heavy armor, they could take a lot of damage, and they can dish it out. They're armed with an arm cannon and a giant sword. Stalkers, they rely on stealth and visibility, and they have wicked claws like Wolverine. Well, they're not exactly Wolverine-esque claws. They're just giant blades that look pretty cool. Basically, Stalkers are the stealth class. Spellslingers, as described in DevSpeak's trailer of the Spellslinger class, is like a Nightcrawler from the Marvel Universe with a cowboy hat. They're armed with dual-wielding pistols that can fire magic, or sigils as they're called. And they're very agile, they wear light armor, and they're good for long-distance combat. Medics, well, basically the name speaks for itself. They heal people, and I'm guessing they can also steal health from other enemies. Espers, they're the, I'm going to call them psionic-esque class. They use telekinetic abilities and illusions and constructs to inflict heavy damage upon enemies. Last but not least for the classes is the Engineer. They can deploy drones that fight by their side, and they've got experimental technology. Now, there are 8 different races: Granok, Mordesh, Orin, Human, Makari, Draken, Cassian, and Chua. The Orin joined the Exiles following the devastation of their homeworld by the Dominion's destructive planet Reapers. Led by their queen, the Orin people have made the journey to Nexus to find a new beginning. The first Exile humans fled their homeworld of Cassis following a failed revolution against the Dominion. Now, having spent generations aboard the ragtag Exile fleet, they're eager to carve out a new home on Nexus. The Mordesh species is cursed with a plague known as the Contagion. With their homeworld quarantined by Dominion blockade, the Mordesh hope to find a cure on Nexus before their culture dies out completely. Granok, they were exiled from their homeworld of Nox after repelling an invasion by the Dominion. They took to the stars, and they became intergalactic mercenaries. With bodies of stone and nerves of steel, the Granok always make an impression on the battlefield. Now, Granok's available classes are Engineer, Medic, and Warrior. Humans have access to Engineer, Esper, Medic, Spellslinger, Stalker, and Warrior. Mordesh have access to Engineer, Medic, Spellslinger, Stalker, and Warrior. and Orin has access to Esper, Spellslinger, and Stalker. Now for the Dominion faction, long ago Cassians were chosen by the Elden to establish a vast empire across the galaxy. A proud and courageous people, Cassians see the journey to Nexus as their destiny fulfillment, and all the planet's treasures as their birthright. Cassians can be related to humans as they have access to all classes. The Chua are mischievous and sociopathic. They evolved on a planet of their own, called Bezgalore. Following a cultural intervention by the Makari, their technological expertise grew by leaps and bounds. The Chua serve the Empire as inventors, scientists, and engineers. They have access to the Engineer class, Esper, Medic, and Spellslinger. The Draken are a race of predators from Mikos that treat all aspects of their lives as a hunt. Centuries ago, after being conquered by the Dominion, they swore fealty to the Empire. Now they serve as their preeminent warriors. Drakens have access to Spellslinger, Stalker, and Warrior. The Makari are a race of advanced mechanical beings created by the Elden. Since the formation of the Dominion, they have diligently watched over the Empire, ensuring it will never falter or fade. Cold and calculating, the Makari form the backbone of the intelligence organization of the Dominion. They have access to Engineer, Medic, Stalker, and Warrior. Now these are the, over there, those are the exiles, if you can see them. And over there, that's the Dominion. Now for my reasons, I'm going to be an exile, and well, all of them have access, well nearly all of them have access to Spellslinger, which is the class I'm going to choose, because it looks completely cool. You have guns and magic. Who doesn't like that? So, I am going, oh, and also, you can switch between genders. You can be a male or female avatar. So Orin, Human, Mordash, or Granok. Well, I'm not going to choose Granok because it doesn't have access to the Spellslinger class. I am going to be human, because that's what I am, and I love being human. So yes, I'm choosing human. I'm continuing on to class. Now, I'm at the warrior part. Warriors, armed with massive power swords and versatile arm cannons, are the brute force embodiment on the battlefield. Here's what the warrior looks like. The different kind of moves it can do. They're like the heavy hitter class. Tank and melee. So yeah, they can take a lot of damage, and they can dish it out a lot. There are the armor previews. And that's the end game. Now, I should probably tell you, Wildstar is, from what I know, currently in the beta stage, so none of this information is finalized. But I am thinking it's going to be cool. There's the Stalker. As I said earlier, they are assassins. And that's what I mean right here about the Wolverine-esque claws. I know they're not Wolverine claws, but they're claws like Wolverine, and it looks cool. That's the end armor preview. This is the mid-game armor preview. And that's the early game. So yeah, Stalkers are assassins without equal. Prowling like silent predators, they use stealth and razor sharp claws to cut their enemies to ribbons. Now, this is the class I'm going to be. A Spellslinger. They combine arcane know-how with lethal quick-draw acumen, making them the most deadliest gunslingers in the galaxy. Guns combining with magic, that's a recipe for awesomeness. There's the class armor preview. That's the mid-game. and that's the end game. Now that's going to be awesome. Now there's what the spell slinger can do. Oh yeah, and also they can teleport, which is pretty cool. Now the medic, armed with powerful resonators, medics can heal allies while inflicting loads of agonizing trauma on the enemy. That's the end healer, that's the mid-game healer, and that's the early game healer. Now espers, they harness the power of their minds to blast enemies into submission, as well as heal their friends and allies on the battlefields. So yeah, they're good for long-range combat and healer status. That's the, over here, that's the start Esper, the mid-game Esper, and the end-game Esper. There's a little bit of what the Esper can do. And last but not least, we have the Engineer. Armed with a high-tech shotgun, superpowered exosuit, and a gaggle of bots, the Engineer is a one-man army of tactical destruction. There's the start Engineer, there's the mid-game Engineer, and that's the end-game Engineer. As I said earlier, I'm going to be a spell slinger. Now, as I will continually remind you, Wildstar is currently in the beta stage, so abilities, story, basically everything about it's not finalized yet. But I'm just hoping they can get like to the Omega class soon. Oh, that's what I'm calling it. I mean, of course, there's the alpha stage, there's the beta stage. I'm calling the final stage the Omega. Like, I don't know if it's a term that everybody uses, but it's gonna be cool. So yeah, right now, I'm choosing Spell Slinger. I'm continuing my path. Now there are 4 different paths: Soldier, Settler, Scientist, and Explorer. Soldiers take the fight to the enemy by assassinating powerful foes, testing new weapons, and claiming turf. Whether defending allies from an alien menace or demolishing enemy resources with high explosives, they always have a blast. Settlers are here to tame the hostile alien world by establishing defenses, civil services, and expansions to existing towns and settlements. These brave souls are indispensable on the frontiers of Nexus. Nexus is chock full of knowledge just waiting to be discovered. I'm on the Scientist path now. Scientists and their scan bots can learn all there is to know about Nexus by analyzing, cataloging, and researching its secrets, from alien biology to discovering the next big breakthrough. Now the last path is Explorer. Nexus is an explorer's paradise. As they adventure across this uncharted world, explorers use their abilities to find hidden pathways, search for ancient relics, and set up surveillance to see what the bad guys are up to. So yeah, Exiles, Dominion, it's a classic light side versus dark side. Freedom or order. Good versus bad. I mean, I kind of get it, like, people wanting their own freedom, free to start off fresh, there's no worries in the world, and then the Dominion comes along, well, which is the force, which I could say, in my view, it's like a tyrannical government, like, trying to bestow order on Nexus. So maybe they got their own reasons, maybe what they think is right. So yeah, classic order versus chaos, freedom versus conforming. So explorer, scientist, settler, or soldier. Now, as I said earlier, spell slingers are nimble and agile. So I don't know which path I'm going to choose. Okay, I have gotten back to you. I took a little time. Well, in fact, no time at all. I have chosen the soldier path. Alright, now I'm customizing my character. This is what he looks like. And I'm going to show you the end product after a while. Okay. There is the finished customization. Now, this game has traditional customization. Face style, you customize the face, facial hair, the style of the hair, eye color, the color of the hair, the body type, and skin color. Alright, going on to finalize. Alright. Customize completed. I'm on the soldier path. I am a spell slinger. I'm human. And I'm new to Wildstar. This is my first time ever playing Wildstar, but I'm not new to MMOs. I have played Fusion Fall for a while before its servers were shut down. So, now all I gotta do is just pick a name. Alright, I picked a name. I'm not going to show you what it is. You guys are just going to have to come and find me. Alright. Entering. Should be awesome. Cutscene happening. And that's the preview for the Wildstar beta. So, see you soon.